Hello parents and students, very warm greetings from CONCEPTREE Learning Adyar branch. For the benefit of students and parents, I would like to take you through the programs that we are offering at CONCEPTREE Learning Adyar branch and how the programs will be beneficial for the students. CONCEPTREE basically is an initiative by IIT Alumni with an intent to promote academic excellence among students through concept-based teaching approach. At our Adyar branch, we offer programs right from 6th standard to 12th standard. So our programs are categorized into 3 levels. From 6 to 8, we call it as the I Genesis, which is the foundation level 1. And the 9th and 10th standard is the I Gain module, which is the second level of foundation that we offer to the students. And the 11th and 12th standard programs are essentially the phase where the students are going to really face the competitive examinations. So starting from the 6th standard, what is it that a kid will require at that age to really prep themselves up towards the competitive environment? When you look at any successful student who comes out with good academic result, whether we talk about the performance in JEE or the performance in NEET, or for that matter performance in any sort of competitive examination, they would be having certain qualities which the others probably would not be having. Now, for all of us who would be thinking as to why there is good amount of effort that is being put by students during their +1, +2, the results are probably not coming the way we anticipate. The trick or the key would lie in the qualities that the students would possess, and that's what really makes the difference between the guys who really crack the competitive examinations and probably the guys who would not be able to. So what are the qualities that we are talking about here? Now, when we look at any successful candidate, as I said, they would be one, willing to take on anything new that comes up their way, whether it is a new problem or whether it is a new concept or a new approach to solve the same old problem. This quality is very, very essential and a prerequisite for a student who is trying to explore greater avenues. Now, the students who go through CONCEPTREE foundation courses, right from the 6th standard onwards, we will try to imbibe this quality among the students. Apart from this, when we look at the students who come through the CONCEPTREE foundation courses, they would be able to have a better learning approach. Now, when we say better learning approach, what do you actually mean by this? If we give a concept or a chapter or a topic to a student, there are multiple ways of learning it. Now, I can probably spend 2 hours and learn it. Somebody else can probably spend half an hour and learn it. Somebody else might just sit over it for a day and claim that they have learned. But what is the right way to learn a particular concept or idea? How do we make sure that once a student is learning that concept, he or she will be able to answer any question? The 360-degree approach is what we call it. The approach of right learning is another important aspect that we will focus on in the foundation courses. Apart from this, when we look at students in the current age, one of the main challenges that they are facing is in terms of solving numericals. Probably when the kids are in the foundation years, I mean, and even including the ninth and 10th standards, this particular aspect would not get noticed much, because most of the curriculum based school examinations, they would not really try to test the problem solving skill or the numerical approach of student. Most of the times, they would be facing standard models of questions and standard formats of numericals. But when we look at a student as they come to the higher grades, +1, +2, and they're going to face the competitive examinations, they would not be able to really have an idea of what kind of numerical or what kind of problem can come in the final examination. What they need to be having with them is a set of ideas which they could use to solve any new model of question that is coming in. So the aptitude skills is what we call, is one of the key aspects that we would try to focus in our foundation courses.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CONCEPTREE Adyar. We are providing three different kind of batches for three different section of students. So we have pre-foundation, that happens between 6th standard to 8th standard, and we have foundation, which is the 9th and 10th standard, and of course the for 11th and 12th standard we are giving NEET and JEE program. For Adyar batch, we are having a Supreme Results batch. This is starting from morning 5:30 to 7 o'clock, which is aimed towards imbibing a good culture of early morning rising, and also to capitalize on the fresh, when you're early in the morning, you get a good vibe, and your brain is able to grasp a lot of context. So that is the idea of having a Supreme Result batch. And prior to that, apart from that, we also having a Achievers batch, which happens in the evening for those who would like to have a longer and a fruitful sessions in the evening. So that happens between evening 5:30 to 7:30, and that happens on alternate days, so Monday, Wednesday, and the other Friday. And then we also have for those busy and very active beings, we also have go-getter batch. So these, as the name suggests, is for the go-getters who are already in the correct, the right track, and they know what they want, and they have a lot of sports activities in their schools, and they are part of a lot of cultural co-curricular activity. So we would like to help them out, and we have started this batch where we happen to have it on Sundays, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday between 5:30 to 7:30, and on Sundays from 9:30 to 4:30. So, any student who has we've designed these batches to help students in their unique, each student is unique and has his or her unique needs. So we have designed these batches for that, and I hope you will be getting the maximum benefit of in these particular batches. And the difference between all three of them is that the timings alone. Apart from that, every single batch is tailor made to give you the exact same results, which is towards the excellence of in your competitive exams, and also in your school-based curriculums. Right, so you don't need to worry about the syllabus being not covered, because we have again the schedule has been put for a year long, where we are we have made it such that the students are getting the maximum benefit in a very limited amount of time. So it's an efficient way of covering your syllabus and also clearing your doubts. And apart from this, we have also touched upon we are introducing something called a flipped classroom model, which is we will be giving a pre-classroom assignment, a pre-classroom worksheet, where they can read through the worksheet. It's very important that the students do their homework, and having to have having to get a pre intuition about that particular topic will give them a much more efficient way, or a much more a good grasp of what is going on in the class, and they'll be they can interact very well with the teacher when they are asking about they are taking this particular class and this particular topic in the class. And the benefit of this would be that the student will have a basic knowledge covered. And since most of the competitive exams, like Olympiad, or be it NTSC, or be it NEET or JEE, they all cover they all strive towards the application oriented, the testing the application orientation of the student. It is very important that the student do their homework in covering up the basics, and we help them in the application part. So the conceptual part and the application part is being helped or addressed in the classroom. And once the class gets over, we have a post class assignment, which will ensure that the students understand, or we understand the completeness of the topic, and they are able to get the maximum of it. So apart from this, we are having doubt clarification classes. So most of the parents that come here, they have they would like to have some sort of a specialized program towards their children. So what we do is we make or we utilize the off dates. So for example, for the Supreme Results batch student, they can come in the evening hour where the faculties are available, and they can take up they can arrange or they can schedule a doubt clarification classes where we give a slot for them, because this is an off time, so we can give a slot for the student, and they can use this slot to have a one-on-one or doubt clarifications. Doubt that needs to be clarified can be addressed in that particular session. And for the Go Achievers batch, which happens on weekdays, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can come on the other alternate days, meaning Tuesdays and Thursdays, and get your doubts clarified. Again, with a slot that has to be booked by the student, and that has to be confirmed by the management over here. And same goes for the Go-Getter batch that happens on Saturday and Sunday. So you can get the same benefits on Tuesdays and Thursday, again with a block booked. So this is how we address the individual attention that the parents and the student require in a timely and very streamlined manner. And coming back to the faculties over here, I'm sure you will all be very aware that these are all IIT faculties or IITians who have done their BTechs, MTechs, and apart from that, we also have PhD scholars who are passionate towards teaching. So they are geared towards making the students understand the concept, rather than just just asking them to read through it or mug it up for the sake of exams. This happens in a school, and that is the reason why you can see that most of them are not getting good marks in NEET, because NEET is an application oriented exam. So physics especially, we all have the concepts in our hands in the form of our textbook, but still students feel a little bit of difficulty in addressing the physics part of NEET exam. So that is 45 questions that are being unanswered or struggled towards. So and the same goes for the physical chemistry and the organic chemistry. The crucial part is that students here are very well capable of having a good memory. They have a very fantastic memory, which they can, use to recall certain concepts. But what happens if you ask them to apply it? So that is where the limitation starts to occur in terms of school or tuition sort of environment. But what we do is we make the students work. That is very, very important compared to the schools or any other institution working. So it is the students who should get to enjoy the process, and then they should enjoy the work, and they should love the learning part. So that is being taken care of by the classes. And the preparedness to come to a class is taken care by the flipped classroom model, which is to have a pre-classroom assignment and doubt clarification, and the post-classroom assignment, which completes the entire package for the student. So that they get the maximum benefit and they achieve the best. So success is not something that happens overnight. It happens because of small habits that they inculcate, that they develop, and so for any habit to occur, it should be done every single day, and that is what we do. That we strive towards to create a good habit of having a preparing oneself before an event is happening. In this case, it is the classroom, and of course, acting upon, following it up with an action plan, which is the post-classroom assignment. So this is how we define, and we help the future. We don't consider them as just students who come for the JEE and NEET exams or the foundation or pre-foundation cases, but we consider them to be individual who need to be perfected. So that is what we strive towards here, and we take them towards the journey. Okay, so hope you will also come with us through this journey and get the maximum benefit out of it. Thank you so much.
One of the most common question parents keep asking me is how to get prepared for the NEET or JEE entrance examinations. In my opinion, I would say whether it is a board exams or JEE or NEET exams, like competitive exams like JEE, AIMS, JIPMER, most important thing is you should understand the concept very well and apply the concepts while solving the problems. So the key is to understand how we are going to solve the problems. Now let me talk about the chemistry in general. As you know, in chemistry, there are three parts: organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and physical chemistry. First, let me take up the organic chemistry part for you to solve how to solve all the organic chemistry problems. As far as organic chemistry, it is one of the most easiest part of chemistry if you understand the concept very well. Otherwise, it is going to be the most difficult part if you don't do so. While practicing organic chemistry, what I suggest is first you take a notebook and keep practicing how to write organic molecules. And the practice is most important thing while writing the structures, and while doing so, you tend to understand how the organic structures can be written.
The JEE and NEET programs offered by CONCEPTREE Learning Adyar branch would provide the right kind of ecosystem to nurture students into potential rankers. During the +1, +2 stage, our curriculum is designed in such a way that the students would be able to cover each and every chapter in terms of the conceptual depth that is really required for students, and also give them the adequate practice to make sure that their understanding of every chapter is being tested. So what is the kind of an teaching approach that we follow in CONCEPTREE's JEE and NEET programs? So our approach is based on a simple idea that once every student is learning a particular concept or a topic, the first thing to be tested upon is not how they are able to solve the numericals, but is to check how well they are understanding the concept or the topic. So after every topic or the sub chapter that we cover, we will be having something called as a concept test. So concept test essentially makes sure that the understanding of a student in terms of the conceptual part is being tested upon. Now once we ensure that that is being there in the right place, then the problem sheets or the practice papers that we give for every chapter will give the numerical practice part of it for the students. So the approach is built in a very simple and seamless manner where after we finish every chapter, we will be having a concept test. If the student is not able to perform in the concept test, we have a mechanism through the doubt clarification session and the additional review sessions. We'll make sure that the students are able to get that right input. And once that goes on, the students will be having a common minimum assignment for the numerical part, practice part of it. And after every chapter, we'll have a chapter-wise test along the pattern that they would have probably in the NEET or the JEE. The chapter-wise tests are a mechanism where we will be able to understand if the students are able to meet the expectation for the competitive examinations or not. So there are two ways that we will go about doing it. One, at the end of every chapter we will have a test, and the students who are not able to meet the new expectation, we will have a review test for them. Before the review test, they will be also getting a chance to reinforce their conceptual clarity as well as the problem solving skills by attending the review sessions. Now, as the program of plus 1 and plus 2 is bifurcated into 6 phases. During plus 1, what they will be getting to experience is mostly the plus 1 topics along with some topics of plus 2, which are essential in terms of maintaining the continuity part of it. That will not only reduce their academic load when they go to the plus 2, where they'll have to balance both the competitive examination preparation as well as the school curriculum or the board examination preparation part of it. So the 11th standard 3-phase module will have at the end of every phase what we call as a phase test. So phase test is a complete test along the pattern of JEE or NEET. For the students of the JEE program, we will have it at the JEE mains format as well as JEE advanced format. And for the NEET students, we also have optional examinations in the format of AIMS and JEPMAT. So the phase examinations will be an opportunity for us to assess comprehensively on how a student is able to cope up to the topics that have been covered in that particular phase. So the plus 1 program is divided into 3-phase module, and at the end of the 3-phase module, they will be writing cumulative exams on the entire plus 1 syllabus that has been covered. So this gives an opportunity for us in terms of reconciling how the students are able to perform up to at least 50 to 60% of the syllabus. During the plus 2, the process would continue along similar lines, but the summer additional classes that we conduct during the plus 1 plus 2 break will give us an opportunity to complete the entire course by the end of August or the middle part of September, which means from the mid part of September onwards, we will be having the review time and enough time to provide additional practice for the students in terms of the full syllabus examinations, so that the students can really give best performance for the first attempt of JEE, which comes in January, and probably even from the next academic year, if NEET is going to come in a 2-phase manner, the students will be really ready and they will get all the inputs well before the January attempt. And once they finish the board exams, the students would get continuous support up to the time where they are going to appear for JEE mains or JEE advanced or NEET or AIMS, JEPMAT, the medical examinations part of it. The repeater program at CONCEPTREE is another unique module which really makes sure that the students would get the right kind of inputs that they would be probably missing during their regular plus 1 plus 2 preparation part of it. So usually the repeater programs, across India, not just in Chennai for that matter, would try to have a clean slate approach, which means that we would assume that the students are probably having zero knowledge, and start teaching everything from the A to Z manner. But practically speaking, each student would have some topics where they are probably really clear, not only in terms of the concept part, but also the numerical practice. And some, they might be good in terms of the conceptual part, might not be good in terms of the numericals. And some, they may be good in parts, like full chapter they might not be thorough, but subsections they might be thorough, and some sections of the chapter they might not be. So the repeater program in CONCEPTREE will have what is popularly called as a demand-based learning approach. So what happens in all our repeater programs, while we are going to have a schedule where the syllabus is going to be covered from the month of June till the end of October, each class, let's say a student is of the opinion that he or she is good in terms of that subtopic. So we have an option for the students where they can come out of the class and take a concept test followed by the practice test. So what happens in this manner is the students would not be really bogged down in terms of going through what they are already aware of or what they are already strong at. Instead, we will be able to provide them and mechanism where they would get to test their understanding level. So we have an optional the concept test and the practice test followed by a specific review where the students will be able to get an opportunity in terms of testing themselves upon the topics where they are clear or where they are having an idea that they have good amount of knowledge. Now this will ensure that each and every student is have a really customized approach in terms of utilizing their time and effort, thereby producing the best result. Now the kind of success that we are seeing from CONCEPTREE students both in terms of JEE as well as NEET is clearly showing that the customized approach for the repeater courses is one of the reason why almost the entire batch of students are able to qualify the JEE Advanced, and so is the case with the NEET. So the CONCEPTREE programs in terms of the repeater batch will provide a customized approach for each and every student. Not only the CONCEPTREE's repeater program, but even the crash course, the NEET as well as the JEE crash course will have a similar customized approach that will have specific training methodology that we are adapting from the coming academic year. Our crash programs are means to perform to the level of expectation for every student, wherein the 45 days or the 15 days to 20 days both for the NEET as well as JEE time that the students will spend will give them the kind of output that they are looking forward to. So we wish all the students a very best in terms of their endeavors, and explore the CONCEPTREE programs to give yourself a good chance for the competitive examinations. Wish you all the very best.
Making mistakes is not the bad thing. I would say making mistakes is the first stepping stone to the success. So keep writing on the notebooks, make mistakes while writing the structures, and indeed that would help you to understand how the structures are to be written and how far it is going to be correct. So please practice writing the structures, name of the reagents, name reactions, and what are the reagents specifically mentioned for any conversions. And the synthetic organic chemistry conversions are most important thing as far as organic chemistry is concerned with respect to NEET and JEE examinations. And when I tell you about physical chemistry, write all the equations in a single sheet with respect to each unit, and I would not say you have to memorize it, at the same time you have them in your memory so that it will be very helpful while solving all the problems. So physical chemistry, it is all about how you are going to solve the problem, but again, as I said before, understanding the concept is essential to solving all the problems without any hitch. And inorganic chemistry, of course, you have to understand the basics, and if you consider all the coordination compounds and the structure of any molecules, you have to employ the appropriate theories, something like VSEPR theory, to solve all the structure of molecules and other things. So the rigorous training is most important. At the same time, what is most important is please understand the concepts and put them in practice, and practice every day. And I would say every day, if you keep making little progress, that will pile up to a great extent, and definitely that will fetch you a great success going forward. And the whole paper, question papers are essential in solving, because that will give you a complete idea how the questions are going to be asked or how to approach in solving some of the problems. And while doing so, do not only see what are the answers. Please try to solve each and every question paper with each questions completely. You try to solve the problem completely in and out, so that it will be completely helpful for you to solve other problems even if they are not in the same question paper. In my opinion, even solving one question will be helpful to solve similar questions. It may be about 100 or 150 questions of the similar nature. So if one is going to solve about 50 problems or 100 problems by and large, that should be helpful them to solve almost like 500 to 600 questions. And I'm very sure understanding concepts, put them into practice, and the rigorous, I would say it is not a rigorous, it is a systematic way of solving all the problems will end you up definitely being in IIT or other in premier institutes. And thank you guys, all the very best.
இது போன்ற பயனுள்ள தகவலுக்கு மறக்காம ராஜ் வெப் நியூஸ் சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. இந்த வீடியோ பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க அண்ட் மறக்காம உங்களுக்கு அடுத்தடுத்த வீடியோ பார்க்கிறதுக்கு பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ண மறந்துடாதீங்க.